Have you heard? Metro by T-Mobile now includes Amazon Prime. Yes, enjoy the best of shopping and entertainment, movies, TV shows, music, free shipping, and much more. All included for just $40 per line for 3 lines. All on the T-Mobile network. Discover the smarter way. Metro by T-Mobile. That's genius. One offer per account. Offer subject to change. $12.99 per month value. Offer valid for new Amazon Prime members. Metro customers may notice reduced speeds versus some T-Mobile customers. Video at 480p. Capable device required. See store for details and terms and conditions.
Revolution, Jimmy. The American dream is just that. Just a dream. War is a continuation of politics, only by other means. Politics is a continuation of economics by other means. This is our bank. This is our war. And this is our plan of attack.
Banks have become an essential threat to our democracy. So consider this justice.
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported radio station on the internet. Please help support this station so this battle can continue forward. Revolution Radio! The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome to Sacred Matrix, a divine paradigm of love and universal consciousness, with your host, Janet Kira Lessin and Dr. Sasha Lessin.
Together, we transform the world.
And now, here are your hosts, Janet Kira and Dr. Sasha Lessin.
Welcome to the Ancient Humans radio program. It is I, Gavin McCall, and this is episode number 105. It is May 13th, 2018. Hello to you, whomever, wherever, whenever you are in time and space, somewhere in the universe, the underverse, the oververse, maybe the reverse, definitely the perverse, whatever is clever, in your neck of the cosmological scalar woods. I hope you are safe and comfortable and near people and things you love. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with me. And for the next 2 hours, we'll cross oceans of time in our imaginary caravan of ancient mysteries and rediscoveries. Tonight's show will be discussing manpower. And with me, I have the Toxic Avenger.
Hi.
And he has anger issues.
I have anger issues. That's what I've learned. So, yeah.
But you work hard, right?
I try. I try, I guess. I don't get the free government money like people think natives get, What
are you saying, you're a native?
Yeah, heck yeah. I got the pedigree papers and everything, signed, documented, dated by a notary public.
Radical.
I know. It's very few people in this country have them. So people that say I'm Cherokee or Blackfoot, they are more than likely not an enrolled member.
Should I get my papers?
Can you get them?
I don't know. What does that mean?
Well, you'd have to, everything needs to be traced back to the Dawes rolls back in 1855-ish.
Oh, man, I don't have that kind of time.
No, they do it for you. Like, if you could prove that you are related to somebody that was on these Dawes rolls, you can either get in through Lac de Descent for the French Canadians, or line of descent, or lineage, or you have to have a blood quantum, depending upon what the federal government told this state known as the Indian Reservation. It just varies. Like, they can there was some tribes down there, and one of them got recognized in the state of Texas, and they terminated them like 10 years ago. They just said, "Oh, nobody's an Indian anymore. Shut you down." So, no status for them. Yeah.
No more Indians. We're all done with Indians.
Yeah. Nope. Sorry. Get out of here.
That's terrible. That's totally racist. I'm offended. I'm triggered.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't trigger me. But no, I have to work because there is no government. Some Indians get natives. You get the casino per capita distributions.
So are you a laborer?
I'm a truck driver.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Like, last week I drove 4,150 some miles. So
as a toxic Avenger, what's your daily routine like?
Just, running around spreading mirth. That's
great.
That's basically what I do. I deal with, I laugh at the road rage people. And I don't give in to people that want to bully me, because I actually have a small understanding of math and physics. So you want to come rolling up in your little Audi car, and you want to get into my bubble, I'm not going to get it, and I'm not going to bow down to the Audi. So I have a dash camera that if they want to turn into me, they can ask, the judge can ask them, why did you do that?
Why? Do you live in Marin? Do you live right where I grew up?
Marin County?
Yeah. Do you live in Mill Valley? My hometown?
County? No, I don't.
Because you're describing the exact attitude you have to have around there.
Yeah?
It's like when in Rome, everyone just drive like, a total jerk and just drive right into people, because everyone is everyone has money, apparently. They think everybody has money.
I did have a bank account at the First National Bank of Marin, and then I think it went to, Seafirst Boston bought our Seattle, some bank out of Seattle bought them, and I lost interest in them. So you're from huh?
Yeah, I'm from Mill Valley. I'm from Marin County, wow. And then I kind of, as I got older, got to my preteens, to my teens, and then finally my adulthood, I kept moving north on Highway 101. So I ended up being in Santa Rosa, the city that actually got something like a good, 40 to 60% of it was burned mysteriously last year or the year before or something. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I was there.
The death lasers.
Yes, the death lasers. Now that hit about a mile from my neighborhood. I'm not sure but it vaporized everything, but the trees.
Just like that. Just like when Elijah's God spoke starting in Kings chapter 18, New Old Testament. He's like, yeah, man, hey, you guys knock it off. My God will speak. And it fried everything.
Well, I got to tell you, man, right before we left, I wrote an article that had, and I never saved it. I wish I did. It was golden. It had 20 reasons why to leave California. Mm-hmm. But one of them was that we were in kind of like a church triangle. Oh. And, it's like we're people of faith. We just have our own ideas about the church. The church kind of offends us in how they are. We don't think that they help. We don't think that they help as much people as that they should, right? Mm-hmm. So anyways, that didn't really work out for us because it was like Rosemary's Baby. All of a sudden, because imagine every day on the hour, 3 churches ringing their bells at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by it. So you're constantly being accosted by this acoustic. The bells are beautiful. They are, but sometimes you're just like, what are they doing? Because it just made you feel weird. But it was very beautiful. It's a very beautiful area, and where I lived was right by this massive tree that was right in the middle of the street called Magawan. And I pray that I haven't actually seen pictures, but I pray it's still there because from what I can tell, everything else was vaporized, right? Even people's marble kitchen tops.
Yeah, something that would take a lot of heat or something. Something ain't right about this deal. But half of a car completely melted, the other half fine.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what did that.
Well, I'm sure there's some explanation. Like the passport they found of Muhammad Atta, coming through that burning flame of whatever. Oh, here's a smoking gun. It was him. We found his passport on the ground. Yeah. I'm sure there's something. Huh?
So have you been following the news, like what Obama's been doing with this whole China business, like getting the ZTE thing?
No.
Yeah. Good. Wow. Lucky for you. Because if you would have said, yeah, I would have kicked you off the show immediately.
Oh, for being informed and enlightened. We don't allow that. You listen to what I say and nothing else.
Knowledge filtration. I don't want you knowing anything on my show.
Yeah, unless it comes out of your mouth.
Okay, skip
Yeah.
that. This is great. Crashing my own show is great because I get to skip articles. I'm like, well, if you don't know anything about this, I'm not going to talk about it. All right.
Well, no,
so
I don't know, but I really don't.
Well, what?
Me, I guess.
Well, there's volcanoes all around the world, right?
Yeah.
They go off, so whatever. People kind of.
We got Wyoming. They got the Yellowstone caldera, I think it is. If that thing goes off, no bueno. Not good.
So there's I guess they say there's 17 fissures in Hawaii's Kilauea volcano that are opening, like the 17th one. So, they're kind of like going, what does this mean?
Well, can't they dig up a prophecy that can correlate with even a quatrain or something? Something?
Yeah, like Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nostradamus was like, okay, we got, in the future, Hawaii will have 17 fissures open.
Spewing molten hot lava out on the residents and the livestock.
So I love it when people, they're like, okay, we want you to imagine how dangerous this could be if the volcano does explode. If it does, or imagine this, it could be that boulders as big as refrigerators could be tossed a half mile, and ash plumes could soar as high as 20,000 feet and spread over 12. Yeah, right, dude, that never happens. I don't believe that. Actually, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. And so, yeah, expect that. But, we should also be measuring how much of which deadly gases are coming out.
No.
Why not?
No.
Isn't that fun?
Well, that's climate control. Or climate, it'll change the climate, all that CO2 coming out.
Shh, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Man, isn't that happened to that one town, Pompeii? I think something weird like that happened. I don't remember.
Well, I think we know. We think we know. What do we know? But
they told us.
The Earth speeds up and slows down every time there's an earthquake, a massive earthquake.
Really?
A big super earthquake. Yeah.
Ooh.
The
bombs.
Well, how we know this is because of the GPS system. The atomic clocks in the GPS system tells us that the Earth's sped up or slowed down or something like that. Somebody vet me. Somebody vet me. Do my work for me.
I've actually seen the parts of an atomic clock, cesium clock. Pretty interesting. Not the cesium.
Oh, so you think you're better than me because you saw the inside of a... Okay.
I just seen the parts that they didn't use.
Sorry, I was getting angry.
Yeah.
I have anger issues.
Yeah, do you? Yeah, you need counseling. You need to talk to somebody.
That's why I have this show. I'm venting.
Yeah. Oh, you are?
Well, okay, I got one for you.
Yeah.
Could Earth's trajectory Could Earth's trajectory be altered by the massive gravity of Jupiter and Venus?
Could be, maybe, if they were real and not paintings. If they were real and not just paintings, the Voyager mission.
I told you not to talk about that, man.
The Voyager mission had a camera crew following it because you could see it, going around. Was it Europa and stuff? And there was a camera crew right behind it. You've seen that picture?
Okay.
Or is that Viking? Not the one that's from your old stomping grounds, but the the space probe. What do did you read that article with Dustin that's put $4,000 worth of crap from Hobby Lobby into the shopping cart, got it stuck and tipped it over in the parking lot of Hobby Lobby and got arrested?
Wow.
Yeah, I sent you a link to it there earlier.
I
stumbled upon that. Yeah, he actually that's $4,000 that Hobby Lobby in his plan. He what do you call it? That was $4,000 less that they'd have to spend on Persian rugs and magic carpets for the Iran scrimmage that's coming up.
Okay, so what are we doing about that?
Oh, I don't know. He's got this neck on him though. It's pretty amazing. This Dustin character that somehow stuck $4,000 worth of crap from Hobby Lobby into a shopping cart, and he got it stuck in the snow and tipped it over. But he left his wallet in the cart, and the cops found it and went to his house and arrested him.
Oh, that's sweet, sweet justice.
I know. I've never darkened the door of a Hobby Lobby. I've seen their ads or weekly flyers, and there's just nothing in there for me. So.
Well, I did that article on the show last week about the guy who owns Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
Doing the whole, buy. I mean, you could be innocent, right? Having stolen cuneiform tablets.
No, they were replicas.
I mean, anybody can make them. Anybody could make replicas, which I wouldn't even care. They're just as cool to me. If I had a replica, I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, This is awesome. But if somebody was just making it up, actually making them, then I would piss me off. I'd be like, wait, you mean these aren't from Samaria? I mean, these aren't legitimate copies? These aren't legitimate fakes? What are you telling me?
Are authorized prints.
These are originals? Get this crap out of here.
I could go to jail for this.
Yeah, we could go to jail for having originals. Give me some fakes.
No, it's not like that. He didn't know.
So, when we talk about stuff back to the whole thing about, I like to go scary. Let's be scary on Mother's Day. Jupiter and Saturn affecting Earth's orbit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you got all these guys going, don't listen to them. They have no scientific or physical evidence. So why is anybody talking about this stuff, But they can tell.
Scary.
Well, they can tell by things going on Earth. They can tell by samples of uranium and zircon. They do radiocarbon dating, and they can tell there's been some funny business, right?
Yeah.
So they're looking around the solar system. They're going, who did this? Who did this? Jupiter. It was you, wasn't it? That's how they are right now. They got anger issues, right? So Jupiter, climate, they're like, okay, climate, wait, what does it say here? Climate cycles associated with the impact on our planet of Jupiter and Venus, and major changes occur every 400,000. What are they saying? For every 400,000 years? What is this? Okay, they just confused me.
I like the Planet X thing. That's pretty cool. She was supposed to roll by, I think, November 22nd of 2014, but it didn't. Or 2015, it didn't. So I think they moved it up. That's pretty scary. Planet X coming. 10 times the size of it. Yeah, this big planet.
Whatever.
It's in a rogue orbit.
Okay, what does that mean?
It just does what it wants. It doesn't follow anything of any kind of thing, and it comes around every 2,600 years and tears shit up.
So that's why I was like just fear-mongering just now about Jupiter or Saturn or Venus or whatever, because like they're saying, oh no, it can move us off our course. What does that mean? Like we're going to go flying out into space all of a sudden?
Oh,
out
what
of
if we
all,
ended up in a different solar system?
Like you're going to scare us now? We've been, supposedly in this stable orbit for millions of years, and now it's all of a sudden going to unravel? Great. Thanks.
All
Great.
because of the pollution with the vehicles and the cars.
Oh,
the
yeah,
fracking.
it's our fault. It's our fault.
fracking.
Oh, we're going to get on that. Thank you for bringing that up. We're going to get on the whole people are bad thing, the misanthropy.
Yeah?
Did I say that right? Misanthropy?
I don't know.
Misanthropism? People who hate people? Humans who hate humans? Yeah, man. It's on like Donkey Kong. So another scary thing. Ooh. Now, there's thousands of these. Sorry, if I'm telling you about one, assume there's 1,000 of them. Asteroid possibly longer than football field will soon have a near-Earth encounter. They call it the Lost Asteroid, named 2010 WC9. It was Yes, it was first detected in November 30, 2010. What have you heard about this very, very scary, very, very scary thing?
It's gonna do a number 6 on the Yucatan, and it's gonna fall down to the Earth, and it might destroy dinosaurs.
Again?
Yeah, but not just they're not alive; they're in museums. It's gonna take them out.
It's gonna take out the already dead dinosaurs.
Yes.
Yes, Yes. This is what I've always wanted.
I'm all for Armageddon. I think that'd just be, because I haven't really had much entertainment in a while, and I think the whole Armageddon scenario would
there are a lot of people going, the whole, there's like, there's a banner you can get probably that says the end is nigh, and you could just like wave it in the air when you're ready to get on the soapbox. But, so there was an article I did want to read about these people saying, okay, that's it. The end is coming. Like, like you haven't heard many people say this. Like, oh, the end is coming on this day or, whatever. But maybe the sign that the end is coming is when we start trying to get off the Earth because, yes, NASA is actually sending a helicopter to Mars.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
It's going to be tested. It hasn't been launched yet, but it will demonstrate the viability of travel above the Martian surface with a heavier than aircraft. Heavier than aircraft? Okay.
Rotorcraft?
It's heavier than air, is what they're saying. Duh.
Yeah. So it wouldn't be a lighter than air, obviously. It wouldn't be a dirigible. Wouldn't be the Hindenburg.
Well, hopefully it won't be like, there won't be no like, Marines on it or SEALs on it, because
you never know.
Might crash.
There might be some bad hombres out there in space. We don't know.
I don't know. I'm looking at this picture of it, and looks like a little cube with 4 legs, a tail, propeller. It looks very simple.
Wow.
I don't know.
This is all coming out of Jack Parsons' laboratory.
JPL, my friend.
Yeah, they got really good food.
It's just under 4 pounds, though. That's kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
And I'm looking at animations of it. It's pretty neat. All right. Well, so maybe that's the sign of the end.
That we're trying to the elite, though, they're going to leave us behind, right?
Yeah.
The common folk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is hope. I was talking to my co-producer yesterday about who would survive. The worst case scenarios we could imagine. We actually, in our hearts, believe that there's many people, indigenous folks, just folks. When I say indigenous, folks that are just while the world tries to modernize them, they stay in tune with the earth, and their ways and their culture does not change much, even though modernization has tried to alter them. Those people are going to survive, and there's That's what I believe. I believe even if a tidal wave a mile high sweeps across the earth, those people will probably live.
I'm hoping to be raptured myself. I mean, that's kind of what I'm betting on.
You want to become a raptor?
No,
you want
raptured.
to turn into a dinosaur?
Sweet Raptor Jesus. You can call me that if you want. Yeah, I'll be Sweet Raptor Jesus in my next life. I'm sure you've seen the memes on Pinterest.
I'm sure you just offended many of the listeners.
It's possible, man. You don't know. Were you there? Were you there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you think the end of the world is coming, and like John the Baptist was screaming, "Repent now, for the day of the Lord is near."
No, I don't know. No, I kind of dig the whole. Well, I'm kind of scared of saying it. I'm afraid of the thought police. The thought police are after me, man. They're gonna get me, man. They'll
take you to the Nice Center, was it? They had a place where you went for reprogramming. It was called like the Nice Center, but it wasn't nice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, this book that this guy wrote, 1984. I haven't read it since I was like 9 or 10. I didn't really read it. I was just going, oh yeah, this guy's kind of whacked out. Orwellian.
Yeah. Yes.
That guy.
Yes.
They had thought police back then.
Oh well, we have them now. You know, Facebook's hiring thought police for its platform.
Oh really?
Yeah. What is it? 20,000 at least, 20 to 40,000 people that they want to censor other people on Facebook. You know.
Oh.
Us people that have Confederate flags. You know.
Yeah, they got pictures of guns in their Facebook posts.
It's heritage, not hate. It's heritage, not hate.
Yeah, you know, we wouldn't even had that Second Amendment if it wasn't for that one dude, Patrick Henry.
Well, you know, disarming the public is disarming everybody. It doesn't matter. It's funny when people can't do math. I mean, you're good at math.
No.
Right? Aren't you?
I'm good with percentages. When I see 20% off, I'll tell you what.
Just come on, pretend like you're good at math. Mm-hmm. No, but I mean, like, isn't there like, maybe let me pretend not to be good at math then. Okay. But like, if you're gonna have make a debate about this versus that, right? Like, if it's an apples and an oranges type of comparison, it's obvious. This is apples, these are oranges. But aren't all people apples? Aren't all people like apples? And we just have like green apples, red apples, brown apples,
sure.
apples, frapples,
road apples,
road apples. So you know, I mean, you get what I'm saying.
What I think is going on myself, you know, just kind of like looking at the world and what's going on, is there's a massive polarization going on with our people that are so-called enlightened and politically. You got like 49% of the people think that they should prop Hillary up in there, and then you got within them you got the Obama people and they hate Trump, and then you got maybe 49% of the people like Trump. And we had a very similar situation with the rollout of W, you know, where there was some controversy with the election. We had hanging chads. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of guys jumped off of camels, came over here, learned to fly jumbo jets with precision, and took out 4 buildings in New York City with 2 airplanes. And all of a sudden, the whole country was united against, let's smoke them out. Let's get them herbs. And all of a sudden, there was a great thing that happened that we all united together for the agenda. So that's
our hatred.
Yeah, hatred switched from hating they weren't called snowflakes back then, but those people, or the right-wing Christian conservative gun nuts. You know, there's this massive amount of hate between the two of them, and this is going on now. So maybe look forward to another lifestyle changing event.
Woo!
Yeah. But this one you can't pull that same bag of tricks. You'll have to come up with something different, something scarier, more scary. So it'll probably be like Rogue Nations against United States, and we'll go over there. We'll hire some contractors, and we'll take care of business.
Hey, man, you've been hearing about what's been going on in Venezuela?
No, not good. I don't know. They have such beautiful women there, though. I don't know what the...
You're going to get me in trouble, man. You're going to get me in trouble.
Wow,
but,
just a fact.
But there's thousands of Venezuelans are pouring into Colombia, reported by Blacklisted News. We've been kind of following this a little bit. I mean, haven't they been suffering because of a massive food shortage?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know who's running the show there now, but Hugo Chavez did provide energy assistance for Native Americans on reservations for a while. I don't know if they're still doing that, but they own Sidco and its refineries and brand naming and the stores branding of the Sidco gas stations here in this country. But they did help out natives with their expensive heating costs.
So this exodus that's occurring in Venezuela, it's causing a whole bunch of emergency hospital visits, mostly traffic collision related, and because people are just getting out of Dodge, and that's kind of what's been going on. You're not really seeing it mentioned in the mainstream, if you can catch the mainstream, and certain alternative news channels, we should be aware as we watch them. We should be careful because they'll start to still parrot some things that other stations are saying instead of being their own. I mean, it's easy for it to happen to anybody. It's easy for me to I could be reading an article, and I've had it happen to me on the air where I'll be reading an article, and because if I skimmed over it earlier, then I missed the part where it was some liberal writer writing the article as if it was from a conservative perspective, and then they switch around on you mid-article. They have to do these like shysta type journalistic moves to get their total lies out. They have to take the truth and parasitically implant their bad idea inside of it and say, look, eat this meat pie.
Like that one gal, she said something that there was like 5 million homeless people in this country back in like 1978, and then she finally admitted that she lied. But she felt just so strongly about the actual like 200,000 people that were homeless that she had to jack the number up.
Yeah, that's not fair. But my late rest in peace grandfather was a professor in statistics at Pepperdine, and I have a copy of his book, and he told me that it's all fake. And after reading, his life's work on the subject, I realized, that anybody can really you can use statistics to make certain obviously in democracy, statistics matter because you have to have what counts as a majority is different depending on what court you're in, right? The court of public opinion, the legal court,
People's Court,
Supreme Court,
Judge Judy.
Yeah. So here's a story here from Support Free Thought. So thousands of Americans die each year from opioid overdoses. This is what the DEA has found. And so, the DEA is giving us the information. They're the ones that have the data, and so they tell us what they know about the crime and the drug-related information that they get, right? Mm-hmm. So they give this to the public so that they can show us that they're doing their job, protecting us. Mm-hmm. But the DEA knowingly gives addicts and drug dealers licenses to prescribe opioids. They actually feel the epidemic, so they're the ones that actually have the ability to control those numbers. I mean, at any time they can say, "Well, we can stop this," but they're doing it.
The tribes in Minnesota, I don't know how many are wrapped up in a class action lawsuit suing the actual drug manufacturers for the opioid problems that they have. And they have a legal standing now. And it all goes back to Georgia. No, back down there, not Georgia. I was thinking Georgia versus McIntyre, but down there in Mississippi, the Mississippi band of Choctaw Indians sued the Dollar General store because they needed some land. They wanted some land, and the natives are like, okay, you can lease this property as long as you help us and get, provide jobs for us. Well, the manager of the Dollar General store was I don't know, he was molesting this kid that worked there. He was under 18 and stuff, and molesting him and stuff. And they went to court, and Dollar General was all like, yeah, man, we're going to beat this. We're going to beat this. Well, somebody didn't show up that day for court, and that was the Judge Scalia, Anthony Scalia. Well, he didn't show up because he was dead. So they actually got it. They actually won that case, so that gave the tribes the legal authority to enter into a courtroom for these various corporations for damages. So that's going to go on. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure the lawyers are going to get rich like everything else. But it's a big problem. But the drugs didn't just show up. It was in mass quantities. They got them going on the prescription drugs, and then for some reason this heroin comes from Afghanistan. But
for some reason,
Native Americans don't have ships or airplanes. So it shows up somehow. It shows up here. It shows up in Detroit, and so then everybody switched over to heroin because I guess you can get high for about $5 on the heroin. Then we had massive amounts of fentanyl deaths and people dying. They were dropping like flies. So, and a lot of times you don't hear about things. They say, "Oh, he died in his home." They leave the part out with, he died with a spike in his arm. So, so you're saying about the opioids being a problem and the DEA actually telling us this?
Yeah, and there's all kinds of facts we know from information that's been given to us. Like, I could just give you a few real quickly here. Like, one dentist, for example, admitted to helping an outlaw motorcycle gang manufacture methamphetamines in the early 2000s, which resulted in 2 years of jail time. This is what a DEA document said. He'd previously been caught with meth several times and admitted to a history of substance abuse, alcohol, marijuana, meth, and cocaine. And there was another doctor was caught distributing cocaine in 1981, but he wasn't prosecuted because he cooperated with authorities. Another DEA document shows he was arrested again in 2001 with cocaine and 2 prescription drugs, an opioid, and a minor tranquilizer, and pleaded guilty to related charges in 2003. And here's another fact. This is all from DEA documents. More than 760 people of the then 1.4 million registered with the DEA were potentially ineligible for licenses because the Social Security Administration reported them as dead. They did not have state-level permission to prescribe or distribute controlled substances or were incarcerated for felony offenses related to controlled substances. 700 Social Security numbers in the DEA's database were registered to multiple names or variations of names, which could be a risk indicator of potential fraud. That's another amount. And another 42,000 entries in the DEA's database listed an employee's identification number rather than a social security number, which is what was found, which makes it more difficult to conduct background checks and prevent fraudulent identities.
Wow. This is a DEA license to prescribe, whatever it is, Schedule 2 narcotics.
And it's not, I mean, Hollywood's making movies about it, man. I mean, the CIA is the reason why we have these drugs and how we get them into this country from Afghanistan and from Cuba and different places, you know? So, I mean, come on. It's Hollywood isn't that smart. They're not that original. They have to rip off they have to make their movies, they have to rip off real stories to make anything interesting because they can't come up with anything imaginative.
They have to rip off the underworld. Terrible.
Deep State.
Is that their battle cry?
No, that's my soul be. ISIS, Deep State, Antifa, Obama.
So you're saying there are possibly some nefarious activities going on in this world?
Oh yeah, I'm going full on nut, Alex Jones nut on this one, man.
The CIA. Geraldo Rivera was out in the fields of Afghanistan asking the soldiers what they were doing. They were guarding the poppy fields.
Oh yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Can you think of a better system though? I can't. I think it's pretty decent.
Well, we need to be making friends and not enemies. So I mean, we should be. I mean, come on, man. If that stuff grows good there, let's just be honest about what we're doing and not try to act like, the civilians aren't allowed to have this stuff, but we're the ones giving it to them. I mean, like, come on.
But
they're so dumb. I mean, you gotta love America. You could be smart or you can be incredibly dumb here. It doesn't matter because it's like the majority of people are so dumb they like believe it's totally cool. Like, yeah. Mm-hmm. In their own neighborhoods, they're seeing their friends' lives being torn apart, and human trafficking, drug trafficking, and it's all coming from people just dropping the ball or just letting it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should be our new slogan. America, where even a dummy can make it here. Yeah. And everybody, I don't know. I think I'd stay away from heroin just for the people that I know that are dead. But people do it. I don't know. It's really weird.
Every person, and I haven't been able to talk to many. Maybe the less than I can count one hand. The few people that I've talked to that are heroin addicts, only maybe one of them has been able to maintain a life and get away from it. Mm-hmm. Everyone else is gone. And when I try to talk to them, just as counsel, there's nothing in everything that I think I know. I can't understand them. I can't understand the choice to do that. I just don't get it. To continue to do it.
Dancing with Mr. Brownstone? That's what he used to say. I think that he's been dancing with Mr. Brownstone. We'd see somebody somebody we knew in jail, completely like you hadn't seen him in like 5 years, but they completely changed their looks, and I'd be like, I think they're dancing with Mr. Brownstone. Yeah, it's almost become the gallows humor to me, I guess. I mean, because I can't do anything about it. I really can't. I could get up in my little soapbox and go, heroin's bad, and okay.
In lighter news, Europeans say the greatest threats are immigration and terrorism. Yep, the majority of Europeans say the greatest threat to their nation is immigration and terrorism. That's according to a new YouGov poll.
Obviously, they're not. Okay.
Yep. Citizens of Great Britain, France, and Spain said terrorism was the greatest threat to their country's security, while citizens of Denmark, Sweden, Finland, Greece, and Italy said the greatest threat was immigration.
Obviously, they haven't heard about Jupiter and Saturn's orbits. or
They
Planet
need to listen
X.
to the show, man. They need to stay informed with the gatekeepers of information.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to any other show. We know what's going on.
That's right. That's right, folks. Oh, we got to come up with CIA connections, or I got a phone call from a guy I know in military intelligence, and he told me this. Sorry.
Don't give away our secrets.
I don't know. I think you're right down. You're kind of right next to Pensacola, aren't you?
Oh yeah, man. Gulf Breeze.
Yeah.
I live in Gulf Breeze. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm broadcasting out of Foley, Alabama. But Gulf Breeze is where I usually broadcast out of every Sunday. So, yeah, we have the whole Gulf Breeze UFO. We actually have, air bases here and lots of activity. The Blue Angels are from here. I work in Perdido Key out in the sun every day, and I get to be witness to a air show every single day. I get to see military craft, all kinds of unmarked military craft that fly under the radar all the time. I mean, there's lots of activity here, and it's beautiful. The beaches are beautiful, and people are out here having fun. And when you think it during tourism season, like it is now, there's lots of tourists out here. There's just as many people from here out there too,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. And but yeah, we are known for the UFOs.
No kidding.
And I've heard stories about bald lightning and things like that occurring. Like I've had a friend who's been struck by ball lightning a couple times. It's come into his house and it's moved through his house, and yeah, like literally a ball of lightning, like coming down the hallway at you, that kind of stuff.
Like an orb?
Yeah, and then going up. Like one time, he said it came through this house and it went up. He had like one of these 20-foot tall ceilings, and it exited a window. It just went up into the air and exited a window, or something like that, and just stuff like that. And so, who knows what that is? I mean, I like to think that's some kind of geomantic, like a ionization,
Well, I'd hope it's just a poltergeist and not something that we created as a military thing.
You know what we have out here, which I don't think people realize? We have silent lightning. We have lightning that does not accompany itself with thunder. I'm dead serious about this. I'm not making this up. We have, like today, we got hit with a thunderstorm right before the show, and it came and went. It dropped some water on us. The typical southern weather where it's raining one moment and then it's back to dry the next. But in Gulf Breeze, on several occasions, we've witnessed lightning come down into our yard and make absolutely no sound whatsoever.
Wow.
Silent lightning. And because we're thinking, how can something that looks so bright and terrifying be only so many feet away from us and make no sound? We've been listening to thunder all night. We hear it clapping in the distance miles away. So why would it be able to come down into our yard? Because the lightning has struck plants in our backyard. It literally will bypass a tree. We have a couple trees in our backyard. The lightning will strike the ground next to the tree.
They have a place up there in Clam Lake, Wisconsin. It's Clam Lake. The Navy has it, and people around that area say in the middle of winter time that they will see lightning and everything coming out of this place, and they use that place to talk to submarines. They say because there's so much iron ore there, and that it has a direct conductivity with the Earth's crust, which they say is made out of iron. So it's kind of like a little, like a megaphone for the Earth. And that they do communicate with submarines all over the world on 6 watts. But yet they have, that I know of, they have 3 B-16 Cummins diesel engines, generators, for their 6 watts, what they need. I think they could go with solar if that was the real deal. But I think they're pumping out a little bit more wattage in their cottage than 6 watts. But yeah, the people up in Clam Lake. If there's anybody up in Clam Lake, Wisconsin, can call in. But yeah, maybe there's something like that going on because you do have kind of a naval presence up there, don't you?
Oh yeah, we have the Naval Air Station right here. If somebody wants to call in, it's 850-677-3759, 850-677-3759, or you can use the Skype Skunk Hunt. That's SKUNKHUNT. That's SKUNKHUNT if you want to call into the show. The topic tonight is manpower. We're going to be coming up to a break here at 6 minutes. Obviously, we've only been talking about us and being total fools.
Expressing our own egos and knowledge. Yeah, trying to be the head monkey. The head
Who are you calling a monkey?
Orangutan.
Anyways, but you're listening to Revolution Radio, the most listener-supported radio station on the internet. If you go to revolution.radio and you clicky around, you'll find there's a funding section. Go in there. And how can I say this more sexy? We need your donations. Mm-hmm. So we can put on great shows like this and all the other shows that we have on the network. You're listening to Studio A, and this is The Toxic Avenger with Gavin McCall. And so I wanted to talk about how men and women can work together and build awesome stuff, man. Mm-hmm. Like, if we work together, we can do so much awesome stuff because we have skills that, like, fit together and make a complete unit. Like, when we're separated, we don't really work very well alone. Mm-hmm. But when we actually get together in groups, when you get men and women together and we, like, put our heads together, we can build things like the pyramids. I mean, in theory, right?
I mean, you always have great teams, like, like Ahab and Jezebel. You got the old, you got the sacred male energy and the sacred female energy coming together. The old phallus and the chalice makes for the flag of Israel, I guess.
Whoa, man! This is supposed to be rated PG, bro.
Oh,
it's supposed to be any of that sensual stuff. We can't be having. I mean, we have to let the listeners. We have to warn them when we're going to be talking hanky panky. By the way, that's how everything procreates. Pretty much.
Just be careful when I use my theater of the mind skills, or therefore a lack of.
Burn out.
What do you got? The Shaft movie playing in the background?
Yeah, baby.
Shaft.
Yeah, get over here for some manpower. It's the hour for manpower. No, it is Mother's Day, and some of the listeners, some of the people that listen to the show, they're studying the Gnostic revivalist movement. That's what I call them. It's just people that are into the Dead Sea Scrolls and studying the Gnostics, the people that were around when the King of Kings was throwing himself up on the cross, Oh,
yeah.
Well, allegedly, supposedly, somewhere once ago said that there was an entity, a feminine entity called man. Mm-hmm. And man, man?
Yeah.
My brother Olive is probably listening, and he knows what I'm talking about. I believe this is mentioned in the Dead Sea Scrolls. By the way, I believe he got his own show. I need him to send me info so I could post and boast his show on my show, because he comes onto my show a lot. Yeah. But anyways, we could do that next hour. I mean, we got 3 minutes before we hear some other kind of porno music start playing. Station. Station message coming up in 3 minutes.
Or that one by the Triple D. She's like, That's my favorite one.
Oh, yes, send me your money. Yes,
It is important to have a platform that different ideas can be expressed.
If you want to continue this call, please enter your credit card number.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we will drop some sensual knowledge on your brain, fool. What'd you think this was? I pity the fool.
Mr. T was an amazing guy.
The kids, Howard. The kids. There's kids listening, Howard.
Mr. T had this really nice place in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and he for tactical reasons, I'm sure he chopped like all the trees down, and his like McMansion, and the whole neighborhood is mad because but he liked it. He went out there and chopped it down with an axe, I guess. And
respect. That's manpower right there, Mr. T.
Oh, it's
Master
all
T.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I call him Master T.
I don't think he did too well fighting Rocky, though, if I remember correctly.
That was a movie, man. That wasn't real.
Rocky, I'll give you a hint. Rocky wins this one. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we haven't heard much out of Sylvester Stallone's mother, speaking of Mother's Day. I wonder if she's still around.
Oh, man. We're mood swinging now. We're going from... Okay, so music's going to play, and we're going to take a little break here. I hope I can hear the music when it starts playing, but it doesn't matter. As soon as it rolls over to, 4 minutes before the hour, I'm just going to kill the mic. And we're going to come back. We're going to talk about, is Enki Osiris? This is an interesting article I found. We're getting old now. Yeah. Okay, y'all, that's the music. I can't hear it. Oh, no, there it is. I can hear it. You caught me lying. All right, stay for the break.
Listen to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
You need some more speed records in this day and age. You need coverage.
Coverage? Oh, you mean them little root weevils that crawl around popping off cameras in your face?
Those root weevils write history.
Many of you know that quote by Jack Nicholson in A Few Good Men. You can't handle the truth. Well, you can, and Event Horizons will give you those truths. So when you're mad as hell and not going to take it anymore from that memorable senior network, you'll know just what to do. We will draw you in and become your news addiction at Event Horizons. Join us Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time at freedomslips.com. At Revolution Radio. Our world team members are Dennis Fetcho, John Ilias, David Dunger, Halakas MD, Melanie Bridgeton, Jim Mars, Paula Harris, John Trallo, Maria Payan, Christopher Husser, DODDS, Jonathan Orchard, and me, your anchor, Dr. Robin Falco.
But if you decide not to volunteer, it will not be held against you in any way.
Sounds dangerous. It is very dangerous. Count me in.
That's right here, Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps.
Reality Extraction with Mr. Lowe on the Revolution Radio.
Is your data safe? Do you have the necessary information to assist you in confidently living through just about any survival situation? Is survival and gardening, off-grid living, medical knowledge, or even natural or man-made EMPs on your list of personal concerns? Do you have your documents and your personal information in a safe place in your hands where you know where it is? Well, check out our preloaded EMP-proof thumb drive. Over 3 gigs of survival documents and how-tos, plus the USDA offline food preservation website, and much, much more, including a surprise bonus we just can't tell you about here. With plenty of room left over to store your most important documents. Imagine if a megavirus or a computer failure took out your bank, or all the banks for that matter. Are your banking records safe in your hands? So when they get things fixed and repaired, you can say, hey, look, this is what I had. You have it. I want it back. Is your personal data safe? Family records, addresses, phone numbers? Well, squeeze on over to freedomslips.com. Yes, That's www.freedomslips.com. Click the banner on the homepage for the EMP-proof bullet drive to get the full scoop of everything that we offer. So, folks, keep your data safe for your peace of mind. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
In breaking news, a visiting Syrian diplomat reported today that their population is evolving rapidly and advancing into a fifth-dimensional consciousness. They are seeking peace with all cosmic cultures, which may mean that the Earth will be asked to join the prestigious Galactic Federation of Light Alliances. Please join Debbie West and Michael Hathaway on Lost Knowledge, Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Studio A, for the latest breaking news on the Star Visitors' peaceful contact and the ongoing project of cleansing the Earth.
This is the people's war. It is our war. We are the fighters. Fight it then. Fight it with all that is in us. And may God defend the right.
Warning! Warning!
We gotta stop them! They're gonna kill us all! See how the trouble you've started? Be they the government, be they industry, be they organized labor, be they anyone, or human beings. Time when the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the gears and upon the wheels, upon the levers, upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. And you've got to indicate to the people who run it, to the people who own it, that unless you're free, the machine will be prevented from working at all.
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the #1 listener-supported talk radio station, throwing ourselves upon the gears of the machine. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
You called down the thunder, well now you got it. Right, you tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Revolution Radio!
Join Revolution Radio every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Studio B for Momentary Zen with host Zen Garcia at freedomslips.com, the People Station.
The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Open Canvas. Don't forget to bring an open mind.
Yes, folks, that's right. Bring an open mind to an open canvas. Again, that is Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern. UFOs to government corruption. This is Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
like some crashing and glass breaking, and all of a sudden I get knocked offline or the show just goes off, it's because I'm battling this fly, which is like 10,000 times smaller than me.
So you have poltergeist activity in where you're at.
Man, I'm telling you, man, if I thought I was really a badass, I would be able to take these, I've got, where are those chopsticks? I would take those chopsticks, I would catch that fly out of midair, and I would put it on this table here, and I would tear it to pieces. I would tear it limb from limb. That's how much I hate this fly right now. Wait, I know I should love the fly, but...
Who was it? Who was that big guy that came around? The Dalai Lama. There's several Dalai Lamas, so I say the Dalai Lama. He was one of the Dalai Lamas there. He was being interviewed by Dan Rather, I think it was, and a mosquito landed on his arm, and he's like, yeah, he needs a little blood too. And he let him. The third time a mosquito landed on his arm, he swatted it and killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, so while you were talking just then, I turned the mic off and I leaned back in my chair and the fly landed on my hand. It just landed on my back and it landed on the screen. And now it's on the lamppost next to me. It's playing a game. It's like, hi, you cannot stop me. I'm invincible. I'm the greatest fly in time and space. I want to make a movie about this fly.
Oh, could you maybe call it The Fly?
Well, okay, this is a true story, man. I can't make this up. Earlier, the fly landed on the trim by the door near me. I swat the fly off the trim. I'm thinking it's dead. It lands on the ground next to the door. I see it crawl like crazy under the door to safety. Like, this thing is diabolical. It wants to live. It wants to harass me. I'm going to start...
it probably is doing some supernatural stuff, like getting on top of the ceiling and then walking inverted.
Right when you said that, I looked. When you were saying that, I looked up. It was on the ceiling above me, man. What do you like? Are you in control of this fly?
Yeah.
How about this?
Yeah.
How about this? Send this fly into the nearest flame. Quick, light a candle. Please kill this fly.
The fly.
This fly shouldn't be alive.
That's one thing I don't see much of anymore is those horse flies. Like as a kid, those things were terrible. And you just don't see them anymore, huh?
Look, if this fly would just back off, okay, just back off for the rest of the show, I will give it whatever it wants. I will give it a utopia for flies.
Maybe you can hit it with some Confucius.
I just saw it go underneath. Oh my God. I just saw this fly go under the door and then come out from under the door and fly right past my head. And then it did it again.
The fly is a messenger. An intergalactic messenger.
Okay, now it's up there looking at me. It's up there it's up there on above the windowsill, looking down at me like a predator. It's looking at me. I'm the prey. It's like I'm about to come down and get him. But see, he's waiting. He's waiting till I look away. Look, there's another one.
He wants to take you out.
Oh, wait, that's not a fly. What is that? No, that's a fly. Okay, all right. Okay. I'm not going crazy. I'm not. Okay, we did it, man. We are crashing this show. You're crashing the show. I'm crashing the show. The fly's crashing the show.
It's on the skids. Stillborn. I think it's. So you're going to talk about Enki, which I think is pretty cool.
Well, last week, my co-producer told me, mentioned, hey, they found out that there's a link between Quetzalcoatl and the Emerald Tablets, saying he might be the author. And, everyone said Thoth was the author, and there's this mythology about Thoth being multiple people. He's Hermes Trismegistus, he's more than one person. He's kind of like Enoch. Enoch is Metatron, for instance, These are the same people, right? So there's this article here from Nexus Newsfeed. It says Enki equals Osiris. So this guy Parks, he finds numerous correspondences between Sumerian Enki Ea and the Egyptian Osiris and Quetzalcoatl, as well supporting his memories that they are indeed one. So we do not have space to convey here all the material, but here are a few main points. The Sumerian word Engur generally designated the underground waters of the Abzu, the subterranean world. It is often employed as a synonym of Abzu. So Engur is Abzu. Engur also corresponded to the Akkadian term Apsu. It was a saintly name associated with the goddess Namu and her son Enki. We can decompose the term as Engur and translate that in two ways: the Lord or ancestor, or the profoundness, or again to the depths. So Park finds an Egyptian form in the hieroglyphic En-Ku-Ur, the glory of the prince. The cuneiform sign for Engur resembles the plan of the Osirian of Osiris of Abju. Enki, lord of the earth, declines to Ea, master of the temple of the water, an Akkadian. Park shows a Mesopotamian cylinder seal depicting Enki Ea, solitary and vegetative, in his watery sanctuary, Engur Abzu. So there's an Egyptian image, a symbolic representation of the Osirian of Abju, or Abydos is another word for Abju. The hidden meanings of the Engur or of Enki, such as place where one restores the heart or place absorbed in repose, correspond perfectly with the diverse Egyptian temples such as the Osirian, in which were sheltered tombs in honor of Osiris. To the right of Osiris, the Ankh is the symbol of life. Engur. The Engur sign is given by Parks as a rectangle containing a cross, symbol of Christ. Yep. Christ. Captured by the Christian Church as a symbol of Jesus Christ. So the sign, of course, will antedates Christianity and is found on numerous ancient monuments, especially those of Central America, where it's identified as the cross of Quetzalcoatl, the being assimilated to the morning star and the Christ of the pre-Columbian culture. We will see that he appears to be a double of Horus. So what you're seeing here is actually pretty awesome, I think. The circle cross. Yeah?
Yep. Yeah, that's a sign of Enki, but you'll also see that in Catholic churches and in the stained glass windows of various religious institutions that are Christian. And it's also the Rosicrucian symbol for their, I'm in the club jewelry. So,
yeah.
Which Rosicrucianism predates Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's an interesting story.
So the circled cross of Quetzalcoatl symbolizes the new fifth son of the Aztec culture, created after the destruction of the preceding world by Quetzalcoatl and his shadow, Xolotl. The planet Venus, as the morning star, was also considered as the new sun by the ancient Egyptians and was none other than Horus, the Egyptian Christ. The Engur symbol equally resembles a coffin or casket, the semblance being confirmed by the fact that the sign can be pronounced Zekum, meaning sky in Sumerian. But Zekum can also be decomposed as Zykum, meaning wounded life, wounded spirit, or even wounded and carried away. Does not the spirit of mortality, wounded person, ascend to heaven? Is that not what happened to the spirit of Osiris? Yeah.
I don't know. Didn't they chop up Horus? And they threw him in the Nile River, and she put Isis, the goddess of crisis, put them back together, and they found everything, but I can't mention it. And then there's, depending on who reads the hieroglyphs, she also made I can't mention it, but this thing out of gold, which was represented the parts of him, and then out came Horus, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the same story. It just gets twisted up in a Hollywood fashion. The Ojibwe creation story is very similar to Enki and Enlil with Gitche Manitoba. Anytime you hear the like Manitoba, It means spirit. Gitchi means great. And he created everything. And his brother, he had this brother, which was like, he'd be like Enlil. And he named everything. And anyway, he's like the trickster. And Enlil is where we get the word evil from. Because Enlil liked how evil humans were. He just loved it. He thought it was funny. And Gitchi Manadu's brother, Nanabuju, was the same way. It's pretty much the same story, just different. Yeah.
So the whole time we're talking, you're talking, I'm talking, I'm battling this fly. I'm literally, I am struggling to maintain and battle this fly silently.
I got 3 letters for you. DDT. Won't even see it coming.
Man, I wish I had a blowtorch right now, a flamethrower.
Really?
I love to kill flies with flame for some reason. It's just.
I trapped one in a microwave and turned it on for like a minute. Nothing happened. And I was pretty young. I didn't want some sort of science fiction movie to come to real life, so I turned the microwave off. I don't know why. It was like moving around like there was nothing happening to him. I don't know. Maybe the microwave wasn't working. The microwave had mercy.
The fly was like, what do you, people try this all the time. They try to, and it never works. Will they ever learn?
Have you not read, no weapon formed against me shall prosper?
Yeah, like the flies and the cockroaches, they started mixing or something, their DNA,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they do that all the time. It's interspecies instead of interracial.
Hey, well, you'll give you some of our immortality, and you'll give us some of your replication ability, and
Yeah. I like flies. No, I don't see any horseflies anymore in my life. It used to be just a problem as a kid. They'd sneak up on you, and I don't know if they bite just to be vicious or they actually draw blood, or I don't remember. But another thing,
I was gonna say I'm not gonna tell the story about me being attacked by a giant fly, like at the Great Lakes,
Oh, the Great Lakes. I'm from that area.
Well, they have big flies up there apparently that can see very far, and they can see a human, and they can go, well, this guy's an idiot. I'm going to go attack him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, like, these flies are so big that when you can literally, as the fly's coming up to you, you can set up, take your best boxing posture, and give it a good old straight jab as this fly's flying in at you angrily, coming to you to bite you. You could be like, what? Hell nah. And you could be like, whatcha? You could be like, hakachaka. Give it your best karate, full on, punch this fly, right? And as you contact this fly, it's literally like, pa-ching, and it's biting you. Like, this fly doesn't care. It absorbs your full on, complete, all the force that you put behind that fist into this fly. That fly is not going to care. It's going to deflect it, and it's going to bite you.
Like in a judo move.
It's like straight up, like all one move. Like the fly's like, people try this with me all the time. I'm going to get me some. It's like, what? It's like, don't you have an actual horse to bite? You have to come all the way down. I mean, I can see this fly for miles. It's not like the fly is as big as a crow, but the fly is big enough that, and my eyesight's good enough, I can see this fly for miles. It seems like miles coming at me.
And your ESPN is kicking in, saying, hey,
I'm just sitting there staring at it going, this can't be happening. This is not, what is this? I'm looking at it. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's a massive fly. And I literally have time to go, hey, you guys, this thing is flying at me. But as soon as I say that, it's like, ow, 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 ow. You know what I mean? And I'm boxing this thing. I'm swatting at it. I took my shirt off. I'm whipping it, man. Oh, man. This actually happened. this happen? I mean,
where in the Great Lakes were you at? Were you up on the big lake they call Gitchagumi?
I can't remember which one it was, man. It was in...
pretty big.
I got to go to every one of them, but I can't remember which one it was. I think it was the third one from the right.
Farther below is Lake Ontario. Yeah.
It might have been
Islands
that.
of Bay for sportsmen? It could be. Yeah. Kid Rock is from the Great Lakes. I think he's from St. Clair Shores, Michigan, actually. Not really sure. There's a huge salt mine under that town.
Man, I'm telling you, dude, you could probably take a shotgun and try to shoot these flies, and you'd be lucky if it did anything to them.
What about just getting a butterfly net and capturing them, putting them in a jar, and give them a little time out?
Look, I'm trying to kill these flies, not piss them off, all right? Because
why don't you pray for them?
You know what? I'm going to stop trying to kill the fly, and I'm going to pray.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for the fly. Everybody pray for these flies. Lord, please.
Dear Enki, thou art in heaven.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, please show this fly guidance to the door to a better life, away from
Salvation.
me. I know that if I was a fly, yeah, sure, I probably would totally dig it doing what he's doing. But come on, man.
Life is a garden.
If I was a fly and I'm like, I only have so many days to live, I have only so many hours to live, let's go mess with a human.
Mm-hmm.
Let's eat all their food, crap in it, lay some eggs.
Yeah. Find something rotten or dead, lay some eggs.
You know, it's like everybody wants a monkey. You know, they want a little, oh, look at the cute little monkey. So they get the little monkey when it's young, and they're like, yay. Then when that monkey gets of age, all of a sudden, it doesn't care about you no more. It doesn't care about your rules. It's going to start being mean. It's going to start humping. It's going to start tearing things apart. And it's not cool, but it's like, yeah, it's like this fly is getting towards the end of its life, and it said, you know what, I don't care. I have a bucket list of my own. If I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out taking out one of these humans.
Yeah.
It's like Death Wish. It's like I'm a fly. What's the greatest challenge I could possibly prove to God that I deserve to be something better than a fly in my next life? I'm going to kill a human, right?
Uh-huh.
This fly is trying to fly straight into my brain and take me out.
I wonder how many people have died at the hands of a fly just trying to kill it, and they do a judo move on it, they slip and fall, pane of glass comes and decapitates them.
Yep. See, I'm containing myself because I know I'm going to hurt myself if I go jumping through a wall trying to kill a fly.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it's kind of like to the best fly or man, you know, may the best fly or man win in this battle. This is like the street fight of all street fights.
Wouldn't it be cool just to like throw like liquid nitrogen on the fly, do something like that? I mean,
it'd probably be like the Terminator T-2000, like it'd break into pieces, but they would just melt and it would reassemble.
Oh, I never thought of that. That could happen.
Oh man, you know what would be terrible is if I was making this all up about the fly.
Yeah.
That would be really horrible, but I can't be making this up, ladies and gentlemen. This fly, as soon as my attention starts to be away from my personal space, it gets in my personal space and I can't speak. And you know, the other day I was outside working. This was Friday. I'm walking around. Bugs were flying straight into my mouth. So I couldn't open my mouth because they would fly into my mouth and I'd be eating them. Mm-hmm. I was literally eating bugs right out of the air all morning, and I'm like, "Hey, you guys, are you seeing this?" They're like, "What? You do not see the bugs just flying straight into my mouth right now?" Like, oh my God. This is messed up.
I think that's why the Australians talk when not moving their teeth. They just grit their teeth while they talk because it keeps the flies out of their mouth.
Oh my gosh, they're like, you know, I would rather die in your mouth.
What a place to just finally just give up. A human's mouth. And they're going at it with the idea that they might have cholera or some sort of pathogen.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I know some of them were mosquitoes that I ate. I'm pretty sure about that.
Oh, yeah. The Zika virus? Oh, heck yeah. They're done
Hopefully
with West Nile.
You mean my
malaria?
stomach acids won't kill it?
No. Well, not in their mind, anyway. I don't know what the reality is, but malaria kills more people than Monsanto every year, hands down, but nobody bans them. Malaria kills more people than guns.
Yeah, speaking of which, well, our show was supposed to be about manpower. I'm actually wasting a lot of manpower on fighting this fly. I had an article here about the Devil's Tower. I know we've talked in the past on the show about how there's certain rock formations that look like trees. Mm-hmm. Devil's Tower may have been one of these giant trees.
I've been there.
Yeah. Where's the Devil's Tower again?
It's in Wyoming by South Dakota.
I think I may have driven past there when I was young. I think my dad may have driven me past there.
Yeah, another fun time arguing with the Park Service because I don't like paying that stupid fee. I think they wanted like $15 to go look at this rock, and I'm like, I don't pay that. I whipped down my Native American Express card and argued with them, and they finally gave in. I cited President Nixon all the time. Well, who said that? President Nixon, executive order. Then I'd make up a number like 18-429. And they look at me and they let me pass. Yeah, Devil's Tower. Nobody really knows what happened there.
Well, I mean, there's the tribes of Kiowa and the Sioux Lakota have like stories about the Devil's Tower. Like the constellation of Pleiades, were girls that were climbing the tree the tree that was there, the rock, to get away from these bears that were chasing them, and they went into heaven and became the constellation of Pleiades.
Oh, that's right. They made little bear babies. Story?
I think it's a different story that you just made up or something.
No.
No. And there's also the Sioux. They talk about something happened to the Sioux boys that wandered off far away from their village when another mighty bear with claws, the size of teepee poles, started chasing them, wanting to eat them for breakfast. And as the bear approached the boys, as he was just about to grab them, they prayed to Wakantanka, the sacred or the divine great spirit, to save them from the bear. They climbed a rock, and while the bear was desperately trying to climb on the rock as well as grab the two boys, the bear didn't manage to climb the rock and left huge marks on the side. So that's why they say that the Devil's Tower has those marks on it.
That's a pretty big bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an interesting town called Hewlett, Wyoming, which is not too far from there. And during Bike Week every year, it's it's on Wednesdays. Everybody heads out to Hewlett and drinks overpriced beer that everybody's selling on their lawn. And none of the bathrooms work in that town. It's all of them are out of order, and they used to be a big wild party with people flaunting their various body parts here and there, but they clamped down on that, and it's not bad. I recommend the Devil's Tower if you wanted to become a tourist and see some of the great places in our country. Don't go to Yellowstone though, because it's actually a volcano and it might blow up with the conjunction of Mars and Uranus, or is it Jupiter?
Jupiter.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
So, the purpose of tonight's show is talk about, things like the pyramids we could have built, and we may not have been slaves that did it, because it's hard to imagine slaves can't really do that kind of work. I mean,
yeah,
and we can't really prove that anyways because slavery's not cool. So we can't take 40,000 slaves today and build a pyramid, can we? No, we can't. It's ridiculous. So the slaves didn't build the pyramids. Some masons did, but these people. Okay, bear with me now.
They're behind that too.
Somebody knew what they were doing when they built the pyramids, but they built them farther ago than we think. Like, I'm not talking 12,000 years ago. It may not even have been 24,000 years ago. They were built before that, right? Doesn't it look like they were built before that?
Yeah, they look kind of old.
Like really old.
Like antiquity old.
like really stinking old. Older than recorded history old.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me. And, but I mean, it also how it could be done is pretty simple. Just, breaking rock down into powder, carrying it in sacks, and make yourself a little elixir, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Make some acid.
Citric acid?
Yeah, and
limestone?
cast yourself some stones. Make perfect stones. Make them be in whatever shape you need them to be earthquake safe. But isn't it interesting that they say that in recent times, as in recent, I don't know how far back, like within the last 1,000 years, or a little bit over the last 1,000 years, supposedly, or more or longer than that, but that the outer casing of the pyramid, which was reflective and what was that material? Was it calcite?
Maybe.
It basically was on there, for a while before there was supposedly an earthquake that caused it to break apart. And then, I don't know where this information comes from, but supposedly that's when they decided to take all of the casing off the pyramid.
Oh.
So you see what I'm saying? So you have this story of an earthquake in Egypt, in the area of the pyramid, that would cause the pyramid's casing to break apart enough to where it would then be like everyone would be like, okay, forget it, let's just take it all.
Yeah. We'll put it up on eBay. If you want to have some fun, anybody, just put some moon rocks up on eBay and see how long it takes for them to knock on your door.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah, moon rocks.
But we want to see our moon rocks.
Yeah, you explained how they basically would. I think you reverse engineered the recipe for Portland cement. I'm not trying to steal your thunder. But what about that rock wall in Machu Picchu, Peru?
Okay.
That's perfectly looked like somebody hit that thing with a laser beam or whatever they used and put this rock wall from, I don't know what it is, some sort of mineral, some sort of rock, and laid it down with perfection. That everybody's like, yeah, we can't really do that nowadays.
Well, yeah, that looks like it was cast too.
You think that was cast?
Well, I think there's evidence. The only way that I could be right about that is you have to look at each one of the bricks themselves, because each brick itself, however irregular the shape of the brick, doesn't matter, because it's the method that they're using to encase the wall. Like, they could do it one brick at a time, but they're building like a case over it. And so you could see how you would know that they're pouring the bricks as you look at the bottom of the brick, where the brick is, it's kind of like a beveled edge. Because you know how they're saying, oh, it's impossible to fit a razor blade between them. You can't fit a piece of paper between them. That's because they filled them into place. And
so it was a tourist trap from its inception.
But, well, let's just look at it this way. What does it? Okay, we could talk about bricks, but in some of these cases, like I think even with the pyramids, the material used between the bricks is stronger than the bricks themselves. If you look into the research, in some of these cases where they have the mortar between the bricks, the mortar is stronger than the bricks. So we could talk trash all day about monkeys and cave people, and I'm a caveman lawyer, and there's many strange things in this world, but one thing I know for certain is that my client is innocent of these charges. Like we could pretend like, oh, we're dumb cavemen, but obviously somebody knew what they were doing thousands and thousands of years ago on how to build these structures. And when we look at these structures now, the reason why they look so crappy is because so much time has passed, right?
Sure.
Is it possible that much time has passed to cause a weathering of these structures?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I see some buildings and stuff like in my travels that were built in like 1912, and I don't know if they got in there and tuck pointed them or not, but brick buildings that have been laid down that are well over 100 years old, and they look good. They look really good, and I don't think we have the craftsmanship and the workmanship anymore. That's been on a downhill slide since the pyramids and the brick wall in Machu Picchu.
So it's hopeless.
Yeah, we're gonna be back to mud hut technology here. That's what we're
getting stupider and stupider.
Yeah,
Mud hut.
Yep.
Well, you're dogging mud hut technology now. Oh, great. Great. Here I'm thinking I'm going to make me a mud house, and I'm thinking I'm superior than a caveman, and you're telling me my mud hut house is going to suck? Mm-hmm. That's racist, man.
Well, that's just the way the world is.
The world is racist, man.
We always have to find superiority amongst other people, and that we're way better than everybody else because of this. And then when we run out of things, we just make stuff up.
So just a couple minutes ago, we caught one of the flies, and I proceeded to stomp that fly to death. And I'm looking at the fly, making sure it does not wake back up. After I've stomped on it like 4 or 5 times, I'm looking at it, and I just want to make sure it's dead. And I'm just going to say a little prayer.
You should drown that fly in hydrofluoric.
Say a little prayer for this fly, man, because that was a good fight. I mean, you had me going for a while. But you lost fair and square.
He went out in a blaze of glory, that fly basically...
It was a team effort, though. It was a team effort. Yeah, I've got Michelle James is here swinging this poster. She's swinging this rolled up poster. What is it?
Scott Bale poster?
Oh, it's wrapping paper for presidents. She's swinging a tube of it, smacking this fly out of the air the whole time. And the fly keeps getting back up I'm going to keep coming. I don't care. And she's smack. It falls again. I'm watching it, and it gets back up, and it starts flying towards me again I'm coming. Ah! And she hit it 6 or 7 times out of the air. It lands on the ground. It's coming at me again. Finally got within, range of my feet, and I just proceeded to stomp it. I'm just you know what? I'm going to make sure I get the final blow on this fly. Yep, it's still dead, ladies and gentlemen. The fly is still dead.
Yeah, wait 3 days. Nothing will be up and at him.
Let this fly represent tyranny.
The tyranny of man.
The tyranny of man. Let that fly represent the tyranny of man. Speaking of the tyranny of man, nobody sends me emails. It's I can threaten your life, and no one will send me email. It's ancienthumans@rocketship.com. You gotta send me your ideas, people, for the show. People who want to be on the show, help me with the show, because we have a lot of fun. We don't get paid to do it. It's all donations. You got to go to revolution.radio and donate. Help us keep the show on the air.
I'd say it's the best show on Studio A in this time slot. By far.
So I have to say, another fly has revealed itself in the studio. So obviously these flies are communists, and they are one by one entering the compound, avenging their fallen brothers. There it is. Right as soon as I said avenging their brothers, one came right at my face, and I tried to give it a good old left jab.
You call them communists because they have a collective mind.
I call them communists because they think they can come into this house and all live here. They think they can get everything for free. Yeah. You know, like the food here is for everybody, including the flies, the maggots, the rodents, and everything outside. Like it doesn't belong. You know, they didn't. I mean, these flies didn't get a job. They didn't work hard for nothing. They just come in here. I mean, come on, man.
Oh, they're like the immigrants to Europe. Yeah.
They're damn bottom feeders, man. And you know what? Yeah. Another thing, you know what? You just brought up something. These flies don't have social security numbers.
No, they're not even registered.
Should they be? I mean, come on. They don't have. This is not right. You know, and isn't like. I mean, isn't eating the food coming into the house and getting like, you know, if the light from my light bulb touches them, isn't that like theft of service?
Photons, they're stealing your photons. Yes.
That's theft of service. That's.
Can you speak fly language or write it? Maybe you should post up outside of the place. You know, entering Gavin's world.
You know what? I think
equal to entering a world of pain.
All flies should know the universal sound of a bug zapper.
Oh yeah, that should be
they
like
should
the
know
cracking of a 12 gauge. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So everybody, AR-15 fans, I heard some scuttlebutt out there that Remington Firearms, the people that manufacture most of the AR-15 and LR-308 platform rifles, is having some financial trouble due to excess of inventory, and they will be selling off massive quantities of these rifles at dirt cheap prices.
Ooh, awesome. Thank you for that news, man.
So don't buy an AR quite just yet, because they thought that the Hillary would get in there and there'd be all kinds of people just scooping them things up, like when they did when Obama became elected, and the sales have just completely tanked. And I saw him get down to like $399 for a particular model. I think made in Florida. Anderson is a model down there in Florida, and I just don't know much about them, but I found one appropriately priced, made right there in Alabama, in Huntsville, which was a DPMS, Remington, Bushmaster. It's all the same company. Used to be owned by Cerberus, but yeah. Look for the big, huge, deep dish discounts on the air platform rifles.
Yes.
I know, more guns, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. America, give me your guns. Say what you like and shoot stuff.
America, you don't know who's packing. Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, not only that, but there should be some. They manufacture handguns as well, so there'd be probably some deep discounts on Remington's products. So that's what I've heard. I don't know. Maybe true, maybe not. Sometimes people make stuff up just to get somebody in a good mood.
Well, hey, that's okay. All right? Isn't that all right? Is that all right, people?
Yeah, that's why we look at the news. Yeah.
Defend your right to talk smack with bullets.
Second Amendment. Hell yeah. Brought to you by, who was that guy that Virginia was gonna maybe join the compact there, and maybe not, but that one guy, they had to put in the Second Amendment in order for Virginia to join, and I'm not going to tell you anybody why particularly that they had to have that, because it just ensues a massive amount of hatred But yeah, Patrick Scott, I think the guy's name was that advocated for it heavily.
Is that Bill? Did Bill just call in?
Billy G?
Bill just did call. Hey, this is the Fly Guy. I heard you called.
Help me,
Was that
help me.
Fly sexy enough? I know I'm calling so damn late again, but I had so many things I commented, but you did not get my messages. You know what? I don't get messages half the time when I'm on air. I get, they don't pop up, and the noise doesn't get made either. So, maybe that's happening a lot more.
Well, I noticed that tonight, the phone call situation has been working just fine. Like, I've been able to add you guys to conversation. That worked just fine. But I think I didn't get any messages from you at all.
Oh, okay. I got mine after my show last night. Then they started popping up. I'm like, come on, man. You give me the messages when they send me the messages. Like when I say something on air that's relevant to what they're trying to tell me, so I can put it back on air and respond. But no, I had to wait like 2 hours. But anyway, a whole bunch of things on the list. If you look real close to those little UFOs, those unidentified flying objects, flying things, they're not probably flies. They're probably wise. You look close. But, you talked about the giant fly attack, and I've told my giant fly story attack, too. And I know what you mean. They're like, I'm sure I'm exaggerating at this point right now, but the way I remembered, it was like somewhere between 2 to 4 inches wide fly. It was probably only no less than 1 inch to 2 inches in reality, from, not including the wings. I mean, I'm talking just the body, and it was all black, and this was right next to us. So me and my friends called them like the Phantasm fly from the movie Phantasm. And I always have this joke about time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, and when you're a Time Lord and they get sucked into the time portal there, now time flies, traveling through time. So in the movie The Fly, it wasn't just teleported from pod to pod. It was teleported through time flies. But, we were getting attacked. My friend's pool was, my friend's family owned a morgue, and they had the morgue, and then they had the storage house for the dead bodies, and that was directly across this little streamy swamp inlet from the ocean thing, across from his pool in his house. So we'd go there, and they'd have these giant flies buzzing around us, man. And they do exactly what you're telling. Exactly what you were saying. You could swat them. You don't need, you could hit them in the air with your fist. If you don't even need boxing gloves. You wouldn't miss. They're like big black. They make a big angry noise, like I'm coming for you. They don't give up, man. They were attacking my friend. Blood drawn in an instant. Massive streams of blood. We couldn't kill the thing. We were jumping up and down, smashing it, hitting it, pounding it on my friend's leg until I cut the head off with a sharp shale rock at the edge of my friend's driveway. So I know what you're saying, but absolutely. Oh, and by the way, the the material they used to seal between many stones was supposed to be made out of gator fat. The fat and blubber part of the mixture was
awesome.
Yeah.
Bill, the whole time you were talking about that attack, I'm sitting here. I had the mic off, but I've got my 3-subject notebook, and I'm smacking the fly up in the corner of the wall right next to where I'm broadcasting. I mean, I've got it up against the wall. I'm smashing it up against the wall between. I mean, I'm violently doing this, and I'm listening to you the whole time talk about, and it's inspiring me to defeat this fly. But I think it might still be alive. I try.
Well, I actually don't. I try not to kill flies anymore unless they're Horus flies. And
Horus.
Flyrus. Flyrus is back. Yeah.
Yeah. What about his brother, man? His brother, he just he just got all rude on him and stuff, and gonna impregnate him, and just not good. Because they had a dysfunctional family. Wow.
We have on a dysfunctional continent, on a dysfunctional planet, in a dysfunctional solar system, etc. Yeah, wait, what other comments did I make? Hold on, where is that? Let me see what I may have forgotten. Okay, you were praying, right? So, but I said pray now, pray it away, like P-R-E-Y, right? I hate those Horus flies. Oh, yeah, the movie, you got the fly from the fly. And then I already said Phantasm, because in the first movie, Phantasm, they're attacked by that monster fly, and they had to kill it by shoving it down the garbage compactor in the sink.
That was awesome.
And
I love that series. I love Phantasm.
Yeah, definitely. It's telling us a lot more than you realize. It's even the future of, like, the floating balls. Those are real, and literally they want those in people's heads. Seriously. And they were giving you the frequency clues when they showed you the vibrating, the two prongs sticking up in the floor, the portal.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The tuning, it's like tuning forks, but they're dimensional tuning forks. Like they tune you to different dimensions, right, of reality.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
some of it might not
secrets.
be reality. Like, for example, when, I don't want to give it away, but in one of the films, when they step through the tuning forks, they're actually seeing backwards into time at an event that they can't change, but they try to change, but they can't. Like, it's almost like they think they're projected, like they think they're projections, right? But the tall man senses them there. So they're more than just projections, they're more than just, witnessing the past. They're part of it, and no matter what they do, they can't change. They can't stop them.
Exactly.
But yeah, they use
timelines.
It's like beyond that. It's like living in the now, but going sideways.
Well, no, I mean it's real time travel. Yeah, no, it's real time travel. In other words, everyone talks about alternate paths and alternate timelines. That's not time travel. That's just an alternate universe. It's right here, right now. It's just another frequency. That's not time travel. People always confuse time travel with alternate universes and timelines. Yeah. They're not timelines. That's not a timeline. There is a future and there is a past, and it did happen and it will happen, and you can't change it. You make it. You're going to make it happen by every decision you ever already made and will make. But it is going to happen. It's there. It's there now.
Great. So
awesome.
Basically, you're saying it's linear.
Yeah, time travel is literally linear, but
it wasn't.
It doesn't mean you can't go to an alternate universe where things are better, just like Earth. But people keep assuming alternate universes are automatically going to be another Earth. Most likely, it's not. It's just you're in the same space as we're in right now, exactly the same area of space and time, except you're operating at a different frequency, and planets and the galaxies would be simply arranged differently. So you'll either end up in another planet or in the middle of deep space. Only everything will be different. Nothing like Earth, nothing like here at all. Just another place. It'll seem like another place, but it will.
I want to go to the Earth where the dolphins are running the show and calling the shots. They probably could do a better job than us humans.
How do we know they're not running the shots now?
I don't know. And they're messing everything up?
Well, that's a topic for another show, you guys, because we got 2 minutes left before the music. And
yeah. All right, I'm going to jump.
Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, thank you for calling, you guys, and say what you guys got to say the last 2 minutes. Soak it up, man.
I just want to say I was really glad Matt called, because Matt says funny things. I like it's kind of dry humor sometimes, but it's like it's like pretty quippy. So good job and good show. And the Gulf Breeze UFO, the main famous one, was a fake. It definitely was a hoax, by the way.
Thank you.
Yay! All right, have a good night, guys.
Yeah, good night, Bill. And yeah, Matthew, this is the Matthew Avery show.
No,
we've
Avenger.
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
No, thanks for calling, man, because
you called me.
Oh yeah, that's right. Did you butt dial me again? You see what happens when you butt dial me? You end up on the show.
I was actually ordering a Subway sub when you called. And
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to tell the gal that I'm reaching out to millions.
Yeah, your Subway is going to be on the air. By the way, Subway doesn't pay us to say Subway. We're actually talking about the Subway, not a chain store.
Yeah, the one that smells like your...
Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message. Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Any commercial advertising you may hear in this program is of the sole discretion and benefit of the host of whose program you are listening to. Revolution Radio does not endorse any commercial products, nor does it accept monetary compensation for on-air advertising of commercial products, nor will it ever. We are and shall remain 100% listener supported. Any product advertising on this program are considered used at higher risk, and Revolution Radio shall not be held liable for any claims or damages received from any product advertised within this program. Revolution Radio, where information never sleeps.
Most guys freeze. That's your cerebral cortex looking for an answer it doesn't have.
See? Even your brain knows you're screwed.
The body's filling with adrenaline right now, whether you know it or not. The heart's beating fast. It's getting a little harder to breathe. The neurobiological system is telling it to run, but your knees are too weak to move.
Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. We are all telling ourselves a story.
You're listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. Reporting the danger. Unafraid. Right here, where information never sleeps. Revolution. Radio.
Take a look around, kid. What do you see? Homes being foreclosed. People working 2-3 jobs just to put food on the table and still drowning in debt. Don't get me wrong. This country is founded on great ideals and principles. They've all been ruined by the banks. Open your eyes to the banks that are robbing you. You know who my favorite president was? Who? Thomas Jefferson. Because he saw all of this coming and tried to stop it. He fought the banks. JFK too, and they killed him for it. The banking institution is more dangerous than an army, he said.
Want entertainment designed just for you? Then check out customizable streaming TV from Xfinity. It makes your life simple, easy, awesome.
Xfinity gives you customizable streaming TV options. Enjoy the most free shows anywhere on any device, and even access your streaming apps right on your TV with X1. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today to learn more. Restrictions apply.